No. Sorry.
Call Stancock Management Finance to order and ask for a roll call.
Stanislaus County,
Here.
City of Ceres,
Here.
City of Houston, City of Modesto,
Here.
City of Newman, City of Oakdale, City of Patterson, City of Riverbank. Here. City of Turlock, and City of Waterford.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Move on to item 3. Is there any remote participation today? No, thank you. Move to item 4, public comments for members of the public may address the committee on any item not on the agenda. Comments shall be limited to 5 minutes. Are there any public comments? All right, moving on to consent calendar 5A, motion to approve the Management and Finance Committee minutes of November 6, 2024. Any questions of the committee? Changes or recommendations? No, I'll entertain a motion.
Move for approve.
Motion from Waterford,
Second.
second from Riverbank. Call the roll.
Stanislaus County,
Aye.
City of Ceres,
Aye.
City of Modesto.
Aye.
City of Newman.
Aye.
City of Riverbank. Aye. And City of Waterford.
Aye.
Motion-
Sorry, I guess I could have called for it. Sorry.
No worries.
I do it differently at the city, so I'll remember that next time. All right, 6A, 2026 Regional Transportation Plan, Sustainable Community Strategy, and Environmental Impact Report Update.
Mr. Chair, Elizabeth Hahn will take this item and she's online.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Rosa. Good afternoon, members. As many of
Elizabeth, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear
We
me?
cannot hear her.
My mic is on.
I can hear you remotely, Elizabeth. This is Jose Luis Caceres.
Yeah. Yeah, the Depeche Mode song "Enjoy the Silence" was coming to mind.
Does this help?
You're dating yourself.
I am.
I know that.
Can you hear me?
I earned this gray hair.
Do we sign into a different account, is it, for this PC?
No. We're having. How would you?
He's reported that they can hear us online, but we obviously cannot hear them. Skip to the next item.
Want to go to 6B and then come back to 6A?
Yes.
All right.
Well, Jose Luis.
All right, 6B is annual listing of obligated projects.
Jose Luis is also online. I do apologize. Can we go to item C? Jean Fleta is here.
Okay, move to item 6C, fiscal year 2023-24 Measure L annual report.
All right, thank you so much. Naisha is going to go ahead and pass out the draft report to you all. First of all, before I even get started on this report, I just want to say thank you to you and all of your staff for all your hard work and in looking over the document for us a couple of times actually this year and giving us your input, because the report obviously would not be what it is without the input of all of our jurisdictions, your staff, yourselves, and just so you all know that we do really appreciate the work you've done in helping us bring this together. So I'm just going to walk you through it as a verbal report, and I'm going to cue you on some of the pages that I'll be talking about. This report will actually, it's in a draft form. You can see the revision date is right there underneath the, on the title page, just so we can distinguish that this is not the final. The final will be going to Policy Board next week for acceptance, and that way, because the cover will not change, you'll know which is which. So first of all, I want to turn your attention to page 7. Page 7 shows our revenues and expenditures for this year, for 23-24. And 60.4 million is our revenues you can see there, and our expenditures are 5.5. I think that, you know, that little 10 million, well, no, I guess 10 million isn't a little, but that difference there is not as substantial as it has been in the past. And so that's just a testament to everyone really hunkering down and trying to do the good work that you do and make these projects move along. You'll see it, the format of this report is much different than the ones that you've had the last couple of years. We, as this was developed, we were working with our partners Convey Inc., who, as you know, are working with us on the Measure L outreach and campaign. And so they gave thought into how information was presented to make sure that we didn't have some of the questions that we had in the past. So hopefully you'll see that as we go along. Okay. I won't tell you this part. I think you all know about, I did, well, just for the other committees, I wanted to let you know that I did add in a note for the smaller committees that sometimes the smaller jurisdictions save up their money to leverage other funds for projects, so that they would see if there's a pot of money just sitting there, they know why. So if you have a big project that you're trying to fund, you might have to save your Measure L funds up for a couple of years in order to get that done. Turning to page 10, I wanted to highlight we start talking about the streets and roads. Sorry. Okay, we start talking about the local projects on page 10. If you go over to the next page, on page 12, actually, you'll see the City of Modesto's project, the Paradise Road area, safer streets for walking and biking. I think this is a great depiction of some really good work that was done and was done on behalf, well, in part to help students at Modesto High School cross the street and get into the school area. You can see the before and the after, and you can see the before, people are sort of all over the place. And then the after, the students are more streamlined and going in more of a streamlined fashion. This project included 88 curb ramp upgrades, striping, signage, lighting, rectangular rapid flashing beacons, pedestrian meetings and mediums, and so much more. So this is just a great, one of the great examples of the good work that is being done in the area. If you turn over to page 25, we start talking about the regional projects, and I know all of you know the regional projects by heart. I think that with the regional projects, the way this is again depicted, it makes it very easy for a reader to understand, especially the State Route 132, but all the work that's going on along Highway 99. You know, the State Route 99 service to Mitchell, Briggsmore, Stanford, just the way it's laid out, I think general public will be able to make that connection and could see then that coming along Highway 99, we're going to see a lot of good work, make it easier to get on and off our ramps so we can get to work and to school wherever. I know I live in Modesto and I can't wait for the Briggsmore one to be done. So again, it's just the way this has been laid out. It's a little bit clearer in my opinion and a little bit more clean cut. And then lastly, on the page 29, we have the transit operators that we highlight every year. They do get Measure L funds as well, as you probably well know. But this is a little shout out to them and all the good work they're doing by providing transit and transportation services to our residents. And so that really concludes the presentation. I know it's very brief. Again, what we'll be doing is taking a final to the Executive Committee and Policy Board next week for acceptance. And then at that point, if we have extra copies, if you want extra copies right now, but we can also certainly give you extra copies when it's a final version. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Nice, good job.
I guess I have one quick question and just for ultimate transparency, I know we have the revenues and expenditures for the year, but it probably should be good to have what's left to be expended.
Okay.
Just so that everyone knows that certain agencies may have money sitting there, so it kind of incentivizes them to get the money spent if they have,
Okay.
if the report's going to show that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll note that down, and again, each year try and make this better and better and better. The big thing is just, we know you all understand it. We want to make sure the public understands it and understands how their monies are being spent. And I think this makes it a little bit more easier for them to digest. But thank you.
Well, it's easy to digest. It's just an observation.
Yeah.
In the past, we've always shown kind of ultimately what's unexpended.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to show that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I again, this year, there was a lot of back and forth, which was great. We got a lot of great input. And so as we go along next year, I really like that collaboration, and we expect to do that again next year because it only makes the report better. But thank you for that.
So on the transits that you pointed out, referring back to what Mike just said, so it shows expenditures, they spent 2.1 and they only brought in 2 million. And so where did the extra money come from? Because that doesn't reflect where we're making up the difference.
Yeah, that would be going back to Member Pitcock's question or comment. Yeah, that would be a perfect example of where that could have been helpful.
If you look at Waterford, it shows that we expended 300,000, 250,000 more than we brought in. So that's people are gonna go, how'd that happen? So I think it's good to show that in the note you were saying that smaller agencies or all agencies need to bank some money so they can have a viable project. That's how we do it, but it kind of tells part of the picture, but not the entire picture.
And that's an excellent point
Yep.
because, Jean, for the operators, we know that little pot is really, really small, right?
Yes.
So their operations is actually other funding sources. So
Yeah.
we should have probably had a section explaining that
Yep.
for them.
That's a great
because
point
that's a great
too.
point, yeah.
Yeah, well, these are great comments. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we believe that we resolved the issue. We just need to test it with Elizabeth Hahn's
Test.
item.
Test.
Can you hear me?
Testing.
Can you hear me?
From this, you know, but not from last.
Doesn't seem like it's working still. Testing, testing.
Could we call her on the phone and have her report that way?
There's a way to,
Yeah,
oh,
well, how would I?
this phone number, so the recording, or how are you guys doing it?
Right. What's your phone number?
Hello?
Elizabeth, I'm going to try to put you on my microphone and you can see that if that works.
Okay, thanks.
So say something.
Testing, testing.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Can
Can you hear me?
Have people online here? Turn off your computer volume or Elizabeth,
Okay.
because we could hear you now, but turn off your computer audio.
Yeah, I turned off. Is that better?
Much better.
Still getting some feedback.
It's on your computer. You have to turn off the audio on the computer, on your laptop or computer. I'll just give. I'm gonna hang up Elizabeth because this is not working. I'm just gonna give the update of the, can they get her? Regarding the RTP. What is, we're gonna have the same problem.
Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we're gonna be trying to send you a phone call from the room itself, if you can answer.
Okay. Okay.
Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Did you receive the call?
No, I didn't receive a phone call.
At this point, we'll turn it over to the executive director to give the report.
I'm just gonna give a brief update on what Elizabeth was going to intend to provide you today. Basically, it's our new year, so welcome everyone for our new 2025. And Elizabeth Hahn is the leader working on the regional transportation plan. And she's starting the update with our regional transportation plan. As you may be aware, she's been meeting with some of your planning staff already to get your project lists going. So she will be having her first Valley Vision Stanislaus meeting that involves your planning directors and other members of the public attending this meeting. So she will be starting that work, and she kind of wanted to just provide you that update and also thank your staff, you and your staff, for the support that you've been providing thus far. But it's just beginning. There's going to be some things that she wanted to share more about, working with the Air Resources Board and some of the requirements with the projects. Things are are a little different and with the state and that we've been working on with many, many things. So um, w- there's going to be more updates on this. And again, we don't have any information yet to provide, but it's starting. So the first meeting with the Valley Visions is going to be, again, the timeline to get the work going. But we do have the project list that she's getting ready to work with the consultants and start vetting all those projects through the system, because all of this needs to be modeled, and there's going to be scenario planning. There's going to be a lot of work that is going to be ahead of us for this next year, a lot of outreach, a lot of community involvement. So that's kind of where she wanted to give you the update. And if she comes on, if there's something that I missed, it was more critical, but this is just the beginning.
All right, are there any questions from the committee?
Is there a new target, Rosa, for this? Are we supposed to get another 10 or 5% reduction? I mean, what's the point?
So the targets are, I think they are slightly higher. And again, Elizabeth would probably be the most appropriate person to answer that. But I think the target is the same. I think there's going to be more about the type of projects that are going to be approved. And again, this is really critical because the sustainable community strategy, which is linked to our regional transportation plan, if we don't get a compliant or approval from Air Resources Board on our sustainable communities, that's how we get our state funds. It's all linked to that. So it's really critical. And the work that is going to be happening, working with your staff and with your projects, it's going to be important, the collaboration that we have together. So, but again, it's just starting. So some more of those questions, Dave, will have an opportunity to talk more deep into that.
All right, any other questions? All right, is there any motion on this item?
It's just information.
All right, we shall move on to 6B at this point. Is Jose Luis available?
I'm not sure. if he's
Microphone
got-
test.
Oh, there he is.
go. We got it.
You have audio.
You have audio. Go ahead.
Oh, I should start preparing now for my presentation. Good afternoon, everyone. This is host Luis Cáceres. I'm your director of program and program delivery. Every year, we are required as the federally designated metropolitan MPO, Metropolitan. Why am I blanking on the P? Metropolitan Planning Organization to present to the public the annual list of projects that obligated federal funds. So just to break that down a little bit, an obligation is simply when a transportation project encumbers or locks in federal transportation dollars. An obligation is not an expenditure of funds yet, though it's the beginning of expenditure. It also is not the total project cost of a project. This list is only about federal funds. So the money that was allocated by the California Transportation Commission for the North County Corridor project won't appear on this list. This is just our federal funds, and yet it still is an indicator of how we're doing as a region and where we're committing our federal transportation funds to. Next slide. Here's one way of looking at how we obligated $100 million in 2024. Alphabetically, Caltrans is at the top and Turlock Transit is at the bottom. In terms of magnitudes, Caltrans obligated quite a bit for the State Highway Operations Protection Program. The county obligated quite a bit for its bridges and other projects. Stancog is on the board for the right-of-way that the funds we obligated to right-of-way for State Route 132. And of course, I could read through all the agencies, but that gives you an idea of just kind of what's going on this list. Another way of looking at the 100 million, next slide, is a bar chart showing kind of where our funds were obligated as a region. But another way of looking at it is to what types of projects. Next slide.
Jose, can I step in real quick with a
Please.
question?
I'll come back up. Let's back
Yeah,
up.
back up to page 17.
Mhm.
So when you look at the list there, you have Waterford down for 9 million, a little over 9 million.
Yes.
All but about 500,000 of that is actually the county project. It's the Tim Bell project, bridge over Dry Creek. So it actually should go in the county's area.
Oh, excuse me. That was miscategorized. Okay, I
Yeah,
will.
so when you look at page 21, you'll see Waterford, it'll show Denville Road over the bridge. We're not doing that project, counties.
Thank you. I will correct that. Okay, so in the in these slides, imagine 9 million more, I believe so, right? Being credited towards the county for its projects. Tim Bell. Yep. Next slide. And really what's going on is most of our bridges that need maintenance and replacement are located and in the unincorporated county, and it's the unincorporated county's responsibility to maintain them. Those bridges generally are around 80 to 90% funded through the Highway Bridge Program, but it's still quite a burden for the county to provide the matching funds needed to do those bridges. So that's 35 million, whether it's Waterford or the county, 35.9 million was obligated towards bridges and bridge replacement and maintenance. But then we also have just maintenance operational improvement projects, road rehab, that sort of thing, 37 million. So over $70 million in our region of our 100 is being obligated towards just maintaining our roads and our bridges. Further down, you can see the 14 million for transit. That's not for transit expansion. That's to buy buses to replace existing buses and to maintain fleets in a state of good repair. So really most of the money spent in our region, except for that 9.6 million there for roadway, is meant to maintain our system and keep buses and roads and bicycles operating safely. For the roadway project, that's our State Route 132 project. We obligated money for right-of-way. I'll highlight one project that I was really happy obligated this year, delivered this year, and that is the county's Golden State Boulevard, Gulf Road, Berkeley Avenue intersection improvements project. It obligated about 6 million, and we were very happy to see that project deliver this year. Next slide. Again, another way of showing you just in a pie chart how we're using the vast majority of our resources, our federal funds, for maintaining our system. And with that, I think the final slide is questions.
Are there any questions of the committee? Questions of the public? And none. Is this informational as well?
Informational, Mr. Chair, but I did want to say, I always like this when we finish this annual report because it shows the funding that we've received for this region and throughout the year and all the good work that you're all doing with those fundings that we get with the federal dollars. So that's, to me, is a highlight. It is a requirement to our federal highways to provide this at the end of the report, but it's nice to show it to you all because you're all working on this and getting all these projects done.
All right, thank you for that. 7A through C are informational items. Committee have any questions or comments on the informational items? All right, I'll move on to 8, Caltrans report.
Do we have someone from Cal?
No, we do not have anybody online for Caltrans.
All right, moving on to 9, Executive Director report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to welcome you all for your first meeting of the new year. And as you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of good work ahead of us. So thank you for your participation and continued collaboration with StanCog.
All right, item 10 are member reports. Any member have a report?
I'd just like to point out, the next regular scheduled meeting, it says April 2nd, it should be February.
When was that, Tim?
Yes, I don't know what happened there, but we did have this goes back to this meetings calendar that the board approves for the year of all of our committee meetings. And we had made a recommendation to our committees and review to meet with some of our committees to meet them quarterly. So that's probably how that got that way. We changed the schedule for the management and finance only. The other committees remain to be quarterly, but for the management and finance will be monthly. We will as you know, in the past years, if there's not enough items, we will send a cancellation notice or talk to the chair about the cancellation beforehand. But other than that, yeah, it should be February.
And we've made that correction online so that it will show, if you were to, not at your paper copy, but now it's online, that will show it will be in February. So we appreciate the making us aware of it, but we've made the necessary changes on the back end so that it will show that it will be February at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with that, I'll call.
Ooh, quick, we opened bids on North County Corridor. They came in $8 million under engineer's estimate, and we're super excited about that. And so we think we're going to the board on February 25th for award. Same team as 132. We're super excited about that. And I can't wait to get to construction because this finance stuff drives me bananas. So it'll be good. And so we will do a groundbreaking, and we'll do a ribbon cutting in 3 years or so. So very exciting.
All right, thank you for that. Any other member reports? All right, I'll call the meeting adjourned at 3:31.